What you're about to listen to is a Bry-Fy production. Comic book reviews. Nifty nerd news. Heroes versus villains. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Bry-Fy podcast. I'm your host, Bry-Fy, your comics guy, and here's RJ, my son. Hey, you want to say hello?
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. I was super fast. Animals, please.
You want some Danimals? All right, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, I'm back, and podcast is back. It's 2024. It's a new year. I'm excited. We took some time off for the holidays to enjoy time with family and friends. Oh, and RJ is showing me a whale that he made out of makeup brushes. That is beautiful. Thank you, buddy. How does the whale sound?
Yeah, it's a whale song.
Oh, whale song. Oh, okay. I mean, this is the perfect start to the podcast, right? I mean, you guys know I love having RJ come on when he wants to come on and get to talk and stuff. So that's always fun, man. And hopefully this year we continue a lot of the success and fun times of the show. And don't take myself too seriously. I never try to, but you know, I got like 5 listeners now, you know, I don't want to take myself too seriously. Anyway, this week, guys, since it's the first week of the episode, see you later, RJ. Have fun. You gonna tell everyone bye?
Yeah.
Tell them bye.
It's stuck.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. All right. See you later, buddy. So, yeah, we have some nifty nerd news items to talk about, and then we'll get into just, I guess, some other stuff for the podcast before we close it out. Pretty short episode this week, but just something to say hi. We're back, and let's get ready for another good year. All right, guys, so up first in the nifty nerd news. So it looks like Stephen Young has backed out of playing in the Marvel's Thunderbolts movie. Not really sure exactly why. In some interviews, he talked about the SAG after a writer's strike, that kind of prolonging everything. And I guess that prolonged a script and prolonged just a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm not sure if he had other work that was coming up that he'd prefer to do or whatnot, but he decided to back out of the Thunderbolts role, but also stating that he does want to be a part of a Marvel movie. So is this the end for Stephen Young? We don't really know. He's hoping he didn't really anger too many people by backing out of the Thunderbolts. Maybe he's waiting for a different role or hoping for a different role within the Marvel Universe. Who knows? Hopefully he has something, man. I like him, you know, and he's no stranger to the nerd culture or superhero movies for that, you know, for that reason. I mean, he also voice acts as Mark from the Invincible series and does a really good job at that. And so, I mean, he's no stranger to superhero stuff. So I think this would be really cool. And he just seems like a genuinely nice guy. He was one of my favorite characters in The Walking Dead, and he has one of the most horrific and epic deaths, spoiler alert, in that series. So excited to see if he can come back and do something with the Marvel Universe or just any superhero universe, let alone the Marvel Universe. Speaking of Marvel, since we're on that subject, so producer Brad Winderbaum, who was, I guess, working with Echo, and I think he's handling some of the Daredevil stuff for the the Disney Marvel series, he has said that Kingpin is gonna pretty much be the street level Thanos of that universe. So, like, you know, what Thanos was to the movies, he's hoping that Kingpin will be exactly that. And in fact, he says that things that happen with Echo and the new Daredevil Born Again series is supposedly going to set the Kingpin up to be exactly that. And it all ties in with the Netflix stuff that happened prior. And so, I think this is a great idea. One, Vincent D'Onofrio is a phenomenal actor and portrayed the Kingpin so well. And he's so intimidating and just so intriguing at the same time. Like his reasons for being the way he is and doing the things that he does is very interesting, and I like it. I mean, it's not like, oh, they totally humanize him and make him a reasonable character that you kind of agree with. No, he is a horrible human being, but you see why he's become a horrible human being through like the Netflix show and things like that. And it was a pleasure to see him again in the Hawkeye TV show. I believe that's when he makes a comeback. Right? Yeah, I think so. I can't know. Wait, is there another Daredevil? No, it was Hawkeye, wasn't it? Yeah, because that was when Echo, I think she shows up. Man, I can't remember. It's been so long. But talking about Echo, the new series, I believe it releases today. So if you have a Disney Plus subscription, definitely check it out. It looks great. In fact, from the not only just from the trailers that I've seen, but there was some leaked footage of a fight between Daredevil and Echo that released here not too long ago, maybe a week ago. And it looked really phenomenal, man. It was like a long, continuous shot, or at least it felt like a long, continuous shot of them fighting. I think the producer, Brad, even mentioned, like, yeah, that's supposed to be like a 3 to 5 minute long sequence. So, like, 5 minutes of uninterrupted fighting. Yeah, that sounds pretty badass. And also sounds exhausting. These poor actors. But yeah, that's kind of really it, man, for the comic book nerd news stuff that I want to talk about. Just a lot of Marvel heavy stuff because, one, I have a Disney Plus subscription, so it's easy for me to watch Marvel Plus things. I do want to check out, what is it, Blue Beetle over from DC. I do want to check that out. I think I have HBO Max still. Can't remember if I got rid of it or not for the new year, but we'll definitely have to check that out. Anyway, moving on to a little weirder news, but more Texas-centric news. Whataburger is adding a new menu item this year, the Whata Wings, the new boneless wings from Whataburger called Whata Wings, which, of course, people are upset by it. They're like, that's not Whataburger, that's not my traditions. But like at the same time, I'm kind of for it, man. I like the chicken strips or chicken sandwiches from Whataburger. So yeah, man, if they do a pretty decent job with just some boneless wings, hell, Pizza Hut has boneless wings, okay? Or it's like Pizza Hut Wing Street, whatever the fuck it's called. Like, boneless wings are like the new hot ticket item because they're just basically spherical chicken nuggets is really all they are. So why shouldn't Whataburger? I mean, I know I get that it's called Whataburger, but they have chicken sandwiches. They do grilled cheese. They do chicken strip and like steak finger baskets. Like, they're essentially Dairy Queen, just orange and white and not Dairy Queen colored. So I don't get why people are upset. I mean, people will always be upset, but I guarantee you by 6 months after they've been out, you're not going to hear anyone complaining about anything like that. Hell, that brings me back to like the story locally when my town was putting a roundabout going out to like where we could drive to the beach or to like the plants that are out there, and everyone was losing their goddamn minds about it. Like, oh, not my conservative highways. Like I don't know. People were just so upset that they were building a roundabout for no reason, even though statistically and all the information that backs up the safety and the convenience and like the increased betterment that a roundabout brings to a community and just an intersection, and people lost their goddamn minds. And now it's been maybe almost a year, and I've literally have not heard anyone talk about it. I think maybe a month or two after the roundabout was finished, people were talking about how good it was. Like, oh man, I appreciate this roundabout. It really does. Like the one person to talk about it was like, oh yeah, this is actually a really good thing. And it's ridiculous, man. People just hate change. They hate things that are different without even giving them a chance. And so, yeah, whatever. Whata Wings are probably going to be a good thing, and are probably going to be here to stay. That's my thought. Other things that people are mad about, Texas bullet train stuff. So looks like the Texas Bullet Train got new funding for more research and stuff. It's been shot down a couple of times, but I'm hoping with this new push and the new funding, they can work out a deal or work something out. Because the idea right now is to get one between Houston and Dallas. Houston and Dallas here in Texas, it's like a 4-hour drive normally, or I guess 3 hours by Texas driving standards. But when you drive the speed limit, it's like a 4-hour drive. And there's tons of travel between the two, between like commerce between the two. It's kind of shocking. And a bullet train, which would on average make that 4-hour drive into an hour and a half train ride, would really, I think, benefit the cities and people who have to possibly travel between the two, work between the two. I think it's a great idea, man. And I don't understand why people. I think I know who doesn't want it. It's the airline companies, because there are flights between Houston and Dallas, which is outrageous to me, because by the time you do all your check-in and whatever you got to do to get on a flight and then get over there and then get everything you need to leave and go to where you need to go, you've spent probably 4 hours doing that when you literally could have just drove. And so I think a train would be a really good idea. In fact, the dream, and I know they've talked about it with the bullet train, the dream is to have a train between all the major cities in Texas, Houston, Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio, and have all 4 cities connected. And I'm sure they would want to stretch it out to like El Paso, like out west, or maybe further up north. I don't know where the next logical location would be after those 4 major cities, but if you can get a bullet train between those 4 major cities, that would make travel so much easier, man. Like Houston to Austin would probably be an hour, if not less. Austin and San Antonio would be minutes because of just how close they are to each other. And so, like, I feel like it's great because really, with the way San Antonio's built, you would just make San Antonio connect to Austin, and then Austin would connect to Dallas and Houston. And so you would have that train triangle. Now, like, that's how I would envision it would work. And then, just to travel to San Antonio from Dallas or Houston, you would travel through Austin to get there, which I don't think is that big of a deal. And it looks like that the people who are looking to build the Texas Bullet Train are working with a Japanese company. And like, as we know, typically when you think of bullet trains, at least for me, Japan is like the first thought of like, oh, who uses these things? And as far as I'm concerned, it seems like they have a really safe track record. It's really good. It gets a lot of drivers off the road. And so people who complain about, oh, there's way too many people on the road and there's like traffic is always so bad, this could help alleviate that. This could help make traveling better, nicer, a little less crowded. And so why would people shoot this down? It's probably because people that they think are looking out for their best interest are telling them to shoot this down. But I gotta tell you, I think that in the long run, this would probably be the best thing for the state of Texas, and especially travel on the major interstates between these cities. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Even though, I probably won't see the effects of it for another 20th. It probably never happened, but I pray that it happens. And then the last bit of news that we're gonna actually no, that's actually it. Oh God, I'm so stupid. I was looking at my notes and I looked at them wrong. So yeah, that's it for the Nifty Nerd News, guys. We're gonna take a quick break right here, and then we'll get back with what I really wanted to talk about for the episode. All right, guys, so for the last part of the episode, just really want to give you a heads up what I got planned going forward in the podcast. I do want to start playing games again. In fact, I'm sitting on some DLC for Pokemon Violet Scarlet. It is the Indigo disc. I've just kind of been holding off playing it because I want to stream part of it, because I still enjoy streaming. Like that's not, like, I want to do that, but at the same time, I want content for the podcast because the podcast is my first and only love. No. So I might end up picking it up to play probably tonight at work. We'll see how that goes, how things are at work, if I even have time to pick up the Indigo disc. But I do want to play that, so we'll probably have that going forward. Really, comic book wise, I'm only actually reading Saga at the moment. I've kind of really just taken a hiatus from reading comic books, mainly because I've just been so down on them, man. It feels like nothing's really changing. It feels like no stories are really gripping me and holding me in. I've been trying to look at like independent publishers and stuff, but there's just nothing that has really captured my attention to want to start reading. Like, the only thing is Saga, man. Saga's really been the thing that keeps me wanting to keep reading. As far as anything else, I still like collecting cards. I'm working on completing my master set for the Pokemon Go card set. In fact, I'm now to the point where I am no longer buying booster packs for Pokemon Go, because it's just a waste of money at this point. So now I'm trying to purchase the singles and get those taken care of. And in fact, I went to a card shop that I enjoy going to yesterday. I went to two different card shops. One card shop, their prices are ridiculous. It's like the guy who owns it just is pretty much trying to call our bluff on whether are you going to buy them here or are you going to go order them online, basically, because online the prices are so much cheaper, even with shipping and handling. And he's out like charging almost 3 times as much as these cards are worth. And I'm probably going to go in and try to barter next time, because I'm usually not one to try to like combat prices, like, because I know how I would feel if people were trying to lowball me, but at the same time, this dude is charging a lot of money for these cards that are worth less than $1, and he's charging $2 to $3 per card for these cards. So I don't know, man. Maybe I just have to be a little more assertive when it comes to that. The other shop that I like to go to, which sells at market value, their issue is I want to sell cards so, I can try to alleviate some of my expenses. One, they don't have a lot of the cards that I'm looking for this set in particular. They got a lot of cool cards, but just not the ones to complete my master set that I'm trying to do, where the expensive shop does. But this one will, like I said, sells at market value, will buy about 70-75% of market value. The only issue and the frustration that I have with the better shop, in my mind, the cheaper shop, which is the better shop, the one that's better laid out anyway, is that they only buy cards when the owner is there. And I've been 5 times now, and the owner is never there. And he will, like, the shop people will send him pictures of the cards and stuff, and he'll make decisions, but it takes so long. He's got a life, and so he's doing other things in that life, and he can't always just be at the shop. I understand that, but man, you gotta have someone else that you trust have purchasing power at that shop, because there were 4 of us waiting at that shop, and one dude I felt like he was kind of a dick, had like a whole binder that he's trying to sell, and it's just annoying, man, because that took so much time for just them to work and try to situate that whole situation, or like figure out that whole situation, that by the time it finally got to me, I didn't even want to be there anymore. And I was like, look, I get it. You're not going to be able to buy cards until like 3 hours from now when the owner finally gets here. I'm just going to buy what I want and then just leave. And like, so that's been the really frustrating part with the new shop, is that only the owner is allowed to buy cards, and the owner is like rarely there. At least when it's like he knows I'm going to show up and just isn't there. Like, I don't know. I'm going to have to start calling in before I go, like, hey, is your owner here? And then like, then go to the store. And so I don't know. It's just been kind of frustrating, like, here recently. Don't get me wrong. It's still a wonderful shop. They have tons of products, and they have a lot of cards that I could find I can buy any card I want online, but they have a great selection in store, and it's not just Pokemon, it's Magic, it's Lorcana, it's One Piece, it's it's everything that you can think of and dream of that they have at that shop. But it's just, I've gotten really frustrated the last 2 times, because like I've wanted to go in and sell so I can get like a lot of newer stuff or things that I'm actually collecting, and haven't been able to do that. Well, I've gotten a few things, but not to the extent that I want to, because the owner's not there for me to buy the cards that I really want to buy. That being said, guys, that's really all that I have to talk about for this week. We will see you guys next week, and hopefully you have a great rest of your week and weekend. Bry-Fy out.